Hello everyone and all, it's Mr. Subcon coming back at you with Military Talk episode number 2. And thank you for clicking on my video. If you've never seen me before, watch a little bit of my stuff. And if you want to, you can comment, rate, subscribe. I love getting comments. Hint, subscribers. If you watch one of my videos, please comment on it. I don't care if you say, Mr. Subcon, you suck, this commentary sucked. I really don't care. I just like getting feedback and reading the comments when I get home from school or at night before I go to bed. It's just, I feel important. But anyways, we're going to go ahead and jump right into this subject after I tell you what gun I'm using. I'm using the, I can't even remember what it's called, the MK14 with Sleight of Hand Pro, Steady Aim Pro, I believe, and I don't know what the other perk is. It's some kind of anti-UAV perk. So yeah, that's pretty much what I'm using, and this is the first match I ever used this gun, so it's not good, but it picks up towards the end. But anyways, let's go ahead and talk about the military. Where I left off last episode was whenever my recruiter called me up and told me to come down to the office where they have the Marines, the Air Force, the Army, and all those recruiting offices. So I went down there. I walked in, and it was funny actually, because the first time I walked in, there's two offices. There's one in one town and there's one in the other town, and he didn't specify what town to go to because they're both very, not close by, but they're both near each other. So I went to this one and walked in, and I said, yes, is Staff Sergeant here? And they're like, yeah, you're in the wrong office, you're gonna have to go back to Rock Hill. And I was like, oh really? That's kind of a far drive, and I just leaked the name of that town, but it doesn't really matter. But yeah, so I just sat there and waited until he showed up at the office for like an hour, and he finally showed up and he introduced himself. He's a very short, like 5'3" Filipino guy, very buff, Marine-like, and he's very nice. And the first thing he did was we went over to the desk, and the first thing I ever did in the office was he said, okay, I want to see what you have. I said, what do you mean? He said, I want you to get up on that pull-up bar over there and see how many pull-ups you can push out. So I walked over to the pull-up bar, and I hadn't worked out a lick. And he said, I want to see how many you can get. So I muster up one. I'm like, yeah. I muster up two, and then I get to 4, and my arms are like jello. I can't do it anymore. And he says, okay, that's fine. You did pretty good for the first time and not working out. So I was like, alright, cool, because it was just a little awkward in front of everybody doing pull-ups because there's all these big Marines in here, and then I had never really done anything like that before. I just looked like a scrawny little freak because I'm 6'2", and I weigh 160 pounds, so I'm not that big of a dude. So anyways, we sat down. He got out this little rubber-banded stack of character traits, like no joke. And they said things like courage, discipline, just, I don't know, even stuff like that. And he made me pick out 3 of those that would best describe why I wanted to join the Marines. So I picked out 3 of those. We discussed that. And then he discussed if I wanted to go active duty or if I wanted to go reserves. The difference is, obviously, active duty, you're a full-time military Marine, and reserves is kind of like a 1 or 2 weekend a month thing, and that's more like if you're wanting to go to college. It's a great program also. If you want to look into that, the reserves are the way to go. But personally, I'm going active duty, so I signed some paperwork, and we did that, and he said, okay, we need to get a date set up for MEPS. And I was like, okay, what is MEPS? Because I had never heard of MEPS before, and basically what that is it's a kind of a big physical that you have to take before you can even get enlisted into the delayed entry program for the military. Everybody who enters and enlists in the military has to go to MEPS. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. You've got to get checked out. You got to get some blood work and tests done and all your health stuff. And I'll explain MEPS in a later episode because there's a lot of funny stories about that. That's going to be funny to tell. But yeah, so we set up that date for that. And let's see, I walked out the door and I was pretty pumped up about the whole thing because I've always wanted to join the military, and I felt like I accomplished something as soon as I walked out of that door. I was like, you know what, this might actually start to become real. So I drove the long way home, being that I was at the furthest away office, and I just kind of thought about it, and I'd already told him that I wanted to go infantry, because personally he was artillery, which is that's like the big mortar cannon things, the huge ones that they shell the mountainsides and different parts of the enemy offensive. That's what he did, but that was mostly a first strike thing in the War on Terror. I don't even know what the current war is called. It's been called many different things, but artillery isn't used as much anymore. Currently, that's only used in immediate response to war. So, you know, infantry's always there no matter what. They're clearing out the battlefields, they're breaching the houses, they're getting shit done. And so that's basically what I'm going to be doing. That's what I signed the papers for, and I'll go over all that. I'll go over MEPS, I'll go over signing papers and all that other stuff, and probably 2 more episodes. I'm not going to drag this out too extremely long, but I do want to talk about it. And if you guys could just tell me, are you enjoying hearing about this stuff? If you are, then thank you. If you're not, then, well, I guess it's constructive criticism. I don't have anything against that. So yeah, but if you're enjoying it, just drop me a like, and please, everybody, drop me a comment. And if you're a new viewer, subscribe if you must, if you want to. I'm not gonna force you, but I would love it. I'm kind of stuck at this rut of 17 subscribers, and that's how it is whenever you start a YouTube channel. Is you start growing really fast, you'll get up to like 10 subscribers, and then you'll start slowing down. You get like maybe 1 to 3, and the next day, ooh, voice crack. That happens a lot, and then you'll end up just getting stuck at one number like I am right now at 17, and I think the last kill is coming up. Yes, it is, and I do get the game-winning kill. Spoiler. There we go. There's my first MK14 gameplay. Thank you for everything, guys, and I appreciate it. So, comment, rate, subscribe. Signing out.